Sexy is not what you're going to find on this video, but you are going to find the most complete and comprehensive breakdown on how to make money selling everyday products on Amazon. We'll show you a secret website that we use to find heavily discounted products that we can sell on Amazon for healthy profits. By the end of this video, you'll have a strategy that you can use right now, so let's get right into it.
All right, so we're here on a website called slickdeals.net. Might be one that you're already familiar with, perhaps you've already used. It's in fact a website that's built for consumers, people like savvy shoppers who are looking to find products at a discount online, where they all come together and they sort of, it's crowdsourced discounted products, I suppose is the best way to put it. But the website's been set up in order to bring those opportunities together. But we, as online resellers who sell on Amazon, we use it as a place to go to find these discounted opportunities, because of course we could go scrolling through a variety of different websites and looking, heading into the clearance sections, which we do. But this is one specific methodology that if you don't have a lot of time and you need to get to the good stuff quickly, you'd head to this website, scroll through, look to see if you can find anything with a big discount on, and then compare it to how much it's selling for on Amazon. So I'm going to have a little look through here and see if we can see anything that stands out. Then we can go and take a look on Amazon and break it all down and see what the numbers would look like. The way this site works is that when you visit it regularly, it kind of figures out what you like, and it's going to start showing you more of what you like. So you can probably guess that I like the tech kind of stuff, toys, games, stuff like that. So it's showing me that kind of stuff here. These are all deals specifically from Amazon. And whilst we do have a strategy that utilizes Amazon as the source, that's not what we're going to be talking about in this video. So I'm going to skip past those, and I'm going to be looking for anything with a fairly substantial discount, typically anything more than 30% or more off of the original price. So I see here there's a few different options that we've got. Smartphones typically not easily accessible to sell on Amazon. They're well blocked, so I avoid those. But we've got some other bits here, and this one looks like it could be a good opportunity, although I've just seen that it is actually open. So we only sell new products using this methodology when we're buying from online retailers. We only buy in new condition, and the reason for that is because we get access to the data to see what people are actually paying for new products. Since this was where my mouse was hovering, let's go have a look at this one. There may even be a small profit to be had in this, but we'll see. The website is like a portal. We call it a deal aggregator. It's a portal for where people can come and share deals that they found online that they think are good. The community gets to score it and vote it as to whether it's a good deal or not. We don't really pay too much attention to that. We look and see if there's anything that's got a nice big discount on, and then just like I've done here, we'll click through to the deal. Sometimes it will tell you that there might be a coupon you need to apply in some of this other detail here, but I'm familiar with Woot and I know that there's no coupons to be applied here. So it's going to head straight over to the website, and we can see that it is currently available, because what you'll often find with a lot of these deals on this deal aggregator sites, they sell out quite quick. If you see something that works, jump on it right away. So this one's still available, which is good news. So what we can do here is I'm actually just going to click through into the ratings because Woot is an Amazon company and they share data. So we can pull up the Amazon ASIN, so we can look this up directly on their website without having to do what we call a title search, which is where I would copy the title of the product and search for that on Amazon. But here we go. This is it here. 8-bit do retro mechanical. Let's just confirm it is the exact same thing. Looks the same, and it was based on the ASIN, so that should be just fine. So what we can do now is click through to the main listing. We'll have this little Chrome extension that you may or may not have seen before. It's called Buybot Pro, and it overlays Amazon's website. And essentially the purpose of it is so that we can pull back the curtain on the product, look at all of the data, and understand whether or not it's a good investment for us to make. Also built into it, there's a profit calculator, so we can enter how much we can buy it for. So we can pick it up for, what was it, $9.99 over on Woot.com. It's selling for $99. So there's a good $40 difference between what we can buy it for and what we can sell it for. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop in the buy price. So $59.99 was the purchase price. Hit enter on my keyboard, and then it's going to pull all of the Amazon fees in. It's going to take the sell price, how much we can buy it for, take Amazon's fees out, and tell us how much profit we'd make if we were to resell this on Amazon. This little box here shows us that we can make a profit of $14.75 for every single one of these that we sold. And that would essentially grow our money by 24.59%. That's the return on investment. So that's just for one unit. And over on this store, we can buy 3 of those. So let's say we bought 3. We can change the quantity here in the calculator. And if we were to buy 3, we'd make $44.25, which off of one product that took us, as you saw, a matter of minutes to find, I think you'll agree is not too bad. And all we'd need to do is just go place the order on the online store and then either get it sent to a third-party prep center or prep it up ourselves and send it to Amazon, and they take care of the rest. If we wanted to have a little closer look at how much Amazon's charging us for those fees and all that kind of stuff. We can do that by hovering over the total cost. But just to keep things simple, I'm going to change that back to not 31 to 1. It's going to work out the fees for just a single unit. It shows us that the referral fee, which is the commission that we'll pay Amazon to sell on their platform, is $14.85. They have a closing fee, which is variable depending upon the category, $1.80. Then there's a storage fee of 10 cents. And because we use Amazon's Fulfillment by Amazon service, where they will store the items, pick, pack, and ship them and send them to our customers on our behalf, we will pay a storage fee. So that's 10 cents per month. Again, not going to make a dent in our profits. And then the FBA fulfillment fee is the cost for Amazon to pick it, pack it, and ship it to our customers. That only gets charged once the item has sold. Beyond that, we will pay just the storage fees for however long it sits there. But typically, we're not looking to buy a product and store it in Amazon's fulfillment center for any extended period of time. We're just looking to pick these up, send them in. They'll maybe sit there for a few days, a few weeks. It can vary from one product to another, and then they'll sell. And then we take that cash, we go back and we reinvest it into the next one. So Woot is a little bit unique in that it is an Amazon company. So they do share data between the two platforms. And that's why when I was looking at the reviews here, so if you are, this is again, it's exclusive to Woot. You click through onto the reviews, onto the ratings, and it takes you to another page. It's kind of hidden here in the address bar, in the URL, the woot.com/review. And then it's this series of numbers and letters here between the question mark and the /. That's the ASIN. So we just grab that, go over to Amazon, and then we paste it into the search. So that's how you find them on Woot. But again, that wouldn't apply if you were looking at any other store that had reviews and ratings. But I'll show you how we'd go about actually doing that if we found a product on another store. It'd be lovely to find, if we find another one on Woot, great, but it'd be nice to find something somewhere else. And you might have noticed that since clicking back to this homepage, a lot of this has actually changed. It's updated. So it looks like there are some fresh deals being shared. There's some older ones in here as well being mixed in.
Just a few minutes ago, when we started the video, Josh, you were saying, oh, these look like Amazon. Just for people that are just starting out, where do you see that? Is that just something you know because it said Amazon Fire?
So in the bottom left-hand corner of these little boxes, so this is the information about this specific deal, the title of the product, how much you can buy it for, what it was, and then this in the bottom left-hand corner in the gray text where it says Amazon, that's telling you the store that you'd be buying the deal from. So here we have Samsung, it'd be Samsung's website, it's Woot again, Costco wholesale, so on and so forth. That section at the top, usually pretty good. We usually find a deal or two in there. And start the video here today, had a quick look through, and one of the first ones that we checked was a profitable opportunity. So what I'd continue to do now, we have here the front page slick deals. So these is inspired by your search history. If you can get a free account with this website as well and get alerts so that each time if there is a particular brand you like to look for, or the particular type of product or a store you like to buy for, you can be notified by email. And they also have a smartphone application you can download as well. So you can get to the deals and be alerted to their existence very, very quickly as well. Because like I was saying at the beginning, sometimes a really good deal can get snapped up quite quick. So we tend to have this website open in the background throughout the day. And when we get notified of deals, we can jump on and pick them up. Because it is just such a fast way to basically comb through hundreds of websites all in a very short space of time, because otherwise what we need to do is go individually to each of these. As I'm talking, I'm just looking through here for anything that has a big discount. We also don't want to be looking too cheap. Something like this at $15 that was $23. It's not enough of a difference between the two, because as you saw when we looked at the previous product, when we looked at Amazon's referral fee, the FBA fees, we need to allow for the fact that we are going to have some costs there in the form of commission and shipping. So we need a bit more of a difference between cost and resale price. And also, we don't want to be going too low on the cost price because it doesn't allow enough of a difference between what we buy it for and what we sell it for to account for those costs. So I'll continue scrolling through here. This looks like a nice discount. Sweetwater Audio, not a store that stands out to me, which is, again, one of the reasons that we really love this methodology, because we discover new places to buy products from all the time. We use this method if we've only got a short space of time in which to source products. Let's say, for example, we went ahead and checked this and it was a good profitable deal. I'd be loading this into my database as a store to visit on a regular basis to check back on. So Ashdown Pro FX Pro Drive Guitar, it's a bass pedal. We can go over to the retail store by clicking the Get Deal at Retailer button, and we'll see what we get when we land on the page. So $100 price drop looks good. Nothing to indicate that this is anything other than new condition. We do always like to look out for that, because sometimes it could be damaged box or an open box or a customer return that hasn't been used, but this one looks great. So we can go ahead, pull that up on Amazon. Now, one of the other things that I check before I go match it up on Amazon is, does the online store publish the UPC number? What a UPC number is, it's the digits underneath the barcode on the product packaging. So Amazon's website is populated based on UPC numbers. So I'm just going to see if they list it here. It's not under tech specs. I can't see it anywhere else. So instead, we'll have to do a title match. And the way we do that is just to highlight the title. So it's got everything that we should need there. Right click and copy it. And we head over to Amazon once again. And in the search bar, we just paste that and press enter on the keyboard to do a search.
I
Or hit
think as well, Josh, just to make sure when you guys are doing that, it says all in the search bar. If you go to the top of the search bar, it says
yeah.
all to the left-hand side, that you're not in a particular category or something like that. That's just
Yeah.
something I've got wrong so many times. And also the other thing, just in case you haven't seen our videos before, is your address. We just put it in at 90210, just to the left of that again. You can see there, you can just click on that. So like say you're in Ireland like I am, or you're in the UK like Josh is, you can click that. You can put in any zip code in the US. We just put in 90210. It just became a thing from the old TV show. And it just gives us an address in the US where Amazon is now imagining we're in the US. So just in case you've not seen it before, that's why we do it that way.
That's a really good point. I'm glad you mentioned that, Stephen, because if you are based outside of the US and you are looking on Amazon US, because the beauty of this model is that you can do it from anywhere in the world, it will not be showing you all of the competitors on the listing. So you do need to make sure you change that address to be one local to the US. So this is the product. Now, it does stand out to me right away here as potentially being one that isn't selling, but I'm not going to take this on face value because Buybot Pro Chrome extension that I was showing you just a few minutes ago has this little box that pops up, and it's going to show us, like you can see here, this is an example of one that does have the BSR, the bestseller rank, which again, if you're not familiar with the bestseller rank, it's essentially Amazon's scoring system that allows them to rank how well a product is selling in its specific category versus the other products in the same category. So this particular one here, it's 225,328. That makes it the 225,000 best-selling product in the musical instruments category. So it's probably not doing all that well in terms of sales, but sometimes Amazon doesn't publish the BSR. Sometimes they hide it. So I'm going to continue and click through here, but I also don't see any reviews. That's another telltale sign that this product might not actually be making any sales. But we assume nothing. We're going to go through and we're going to go through the motions. So I'm just going to pull that up once again here, $49.99, pop that into the buy price just to do that calculation once again. Again, there are some other ways in which we can establish whether or not a product is selling, and we'll have a look at a couple of those different.
Great profit margin. That's the sad part of this one, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, look at that, $73, 146% growth on our original investment.
And to be fair, just to cover for anyone watching the video, like this is an example of something that's probably not great, but I just wanted to point out something really important. So like, what are we doing here? We're buying low from another website. We're selling it at its original price on Amazon. And so this actual item, if you scroll up there, Josh, just for a quick sec, where we can see the current price it's selling at, actually Buybot Pro pushes down the buy box, but you can see there it's $149.99. Whoever's selling it, be it Amazon or I think it's an outside company selling this item. Yeah. We have validated that, yes, this is selling for its full price on Amazon. That's a tick. We're buying it. We can buy it for $50. That's a tick. But then now we've got to look and see how fast could we sell this, or how long would it take for us potentially to sell this. And that's the issue that Josh is now going to dive into a bit more.
Yeah, so that's why we have these kind of checks and balances in place, because this is one of the mistakes that I see brand new resellers make. They see an opportunity like this, and on the face of it, it looks great. But in actual fact, there's nothing here in the data, and I'll tell you what that is, but there's nothing here in the data that suggests this is actually making any sales. So the BSR, the bestseller ranks, one of the things that I mentioned earlier on, I don't see that on this chart. So that's denoted by a green line, but there's no green line here. I can blow this chart out a little bit more and see if there has been anything historically, and there's not been a BSR line on there whatsoever. Something that could suggest there is sales happening is the fact that there are offers going on and off the page. So this blue line where my mouse is right now, where that's jumping up and down, that's the number of offers that are available for this product on Amazon at any given time. So whenever the timestamp was, and I hover my mouse over for this example, 31st of December at 8:09 p.m. That's 2022 when my mouse
2
is
years ago.
Yeah. But I mean, again, powerful that we can go back so far and see what was happening then, because one of the things that I use a lot in my data analysis and my product research is I'm all about the patterns, because patterns tend to repeat themselves, right? And if we see something happening at a certain time of year and we're coming up to that time of year again, we can utilize that same data and that information and make an educated guess as to what might happen this time around. Back in December of 2022, there was 4 different people selling this product, because again, if you're not familiar with the way Amazon works. They have a catalog listing. So you wouldn't necessarily need to create a listing for this. You wouldn't need to take photos. You wouldn't need to write descriptions or anything like that. It's already been done. You just say, you tell Amazon, I've got one of these, and this is how much I want to charge for them. Or I've got 10 of those, whatever quantity you have. And then Buybot Pro actually breaks down here for us all the different people that are selling it on this listing right now. But if we were to just turn Buybot Pro off again, I'll show you where you can actually see those other offers. So this is the buy box, like Stephen was pointing out just a few moments ago. If we click on new 2 from 149, this is where all the other offers live. So we have the main offer from that store, Pitbull Electronics, and then we have another one here, Music Store Live. So they have the same product available at the same price. This particular store, Pitbull Electronics, has they're getting a share of the buy box right now. But again, nothing here is really standing out and telling me that this is making regular sales. And so thanks to the tool here and being able to pull back the curtain on the data, I can avoid what would potentially be a not so great investment. And again, one of those things that I see beginners making a mistake with. Would probably jump the gun on this because it looks great on the surface, but in fact, it's not doing what we need for it to do.
Josh, just super briefly as well, for anybody that's not sure, fair enough, there's no bestseller rank. So I know that's a problem. But like, where would they go using Buybot Pro? But there's different tools we use on Marketplace Superheroes, by the way. Where would they go to see how many, maybe we need to go to a different listing just for a second or whatever, just to see like how many sales are estimated per month, because Buybot Pro can tell you that information.
Let's just pull back up this keyboard that we were looking at earlier on, because I did notice that had some good sales activity. Underneath this profit and ROI, we have estimated sales. And just to point out, they say estimated because Amazon doesn't give us the exact numbers. There's no way for us to know exactly how many times per month the product is selling. But in my experience, Buybot Pro is very conservative and underestimates by roughly 10 to 20% of the real sales numbers. What we can see here is three boxes with 3 different numbers in. So this box here is the previous 90-day average sales. So it sold 166 units over the last 90 days. This is the last 30 days in the blue box. And this is the predicted number of sales over the next 90 days. And again, based on historical data. But if we wanted to see a breakdown of how many it sold per month, again, useful if we're looking to, I don't know, repeat back and see how well it sold. If we're looking to make an investment of a larger kind and buy more units of this, and we're going into a month where we're not really sure as to whether or not it's going to be out of season. Like there are some products that have seasons and would sell better at one time of year versus another. But here we can see we're recording this video, September time. So we are partway through September. It's sold 15 units so far, but in August, it sold 54. In July, 60. In June, 54. May, 62. So it's pretty consistent, somewhere between 50 and 60 units per month. Although back in October of 23, it sold 379. So maybe there was a sale on Amazon right then where it could be picked up at a lower price, but like that's good. We'd be quite happy with that. Actually brings me to another mistake that I see a lot of brand new sellers make, and that's looking for products that have hundreds and hundreds of sales per month. The amount of people that have come to me and said, I've been looking for products for so long and I can't find anything that's selling in decent volume. And when I ask them what their consideration of what their opinion or perspective is on decent sales volume, they're looking for hundreds of units in sales per month. Because of how we actually operate this model, because we're buying from online retailers, and you might recall when I was looking at that keyboard on woot.com, it said that we could only actually buy 3 of them anyway. So why would we need a product that's selling hundreds a month when we can only buy 3? Yeah. The investment strategy that we use, we call it shallow and wide investing. So we're buying small quantities of lots of different products. That way, we're not overly exposed to any kind of risk and having all of our money tied up in one particular product or a small number of products. Instead, we spread our bets across lots of different products. We'll make sales of lots of different things. And also, again, it gives us the opportunity to test multiple brands, multiple product types, see what works, and then do more of what works later on. Okay. We can always go back and buy more of what worked. So we buy 3 and it goes well, and we thought, I wish I'd have bought 3 more. We can just go back again and buy some more from the same place.
So my last question about this one, Josh, if this was you now, would this be a product that you would buy, or would this be a product that you wouldn't buy?
Yeah, I like it. It's lower on the ROI end because typically we have some criteria, we have guidelines that we teach our clients. They are just guidelines because everyone is different and has different thoughts on what's good and what's not. But we have a minimum profit and a minimum ROI that we kind of work to. So we're looking for anything above $3 profit and anything above a 20% ROI. Now, of course, those numbers are relative. Now we're getting down toward that bottom end on the ROI, but actually the profit, if you think our minimum profit is $3, well, that greatly exceeds it. So with a higher priced item, I'm much more happy to take a lower ROI because the profit amount is going to be greater. And some
sense.
people prefer to only buy higher priced items because, you know, they have to make fewer sales to make a larger amount of profit. Whereas for some people, it's more of a volume game. And again, that's what is beautiful about this model, is you can pick for yourself. And if we look down at the competition, admittedly, there is quite a few people selling this, right? We have a lot of other sellers here, but what I really like about this on first glance is watching this video, you can probably see it's very uniformed. All of these sellers here, besides you've got Amazon themselves here at $99, another third-party seller here at $99, and I can tell that, by the way, because Amazon is in orange, and then if we want to know who these other stores are, we can just hover over them. The number in the box here tells us how many units they have. Amazon's is not accurate. They don't have 1,000 in stock. It would make no sense for them to have a product that's only selling 50 units a month to have 1,000 of them available. They just don't give accurate numbers, but all these others are pretty accurate. Down this list, it's very uniformly priced, which means that this is not a product that's likely going to have a situation where everybody starts reducing their price, because we can see nice uniformity between all of the sellers. And all we do is we go in and match these guys here at $99.99. And then the buy box would rotate and we'd get a share of that over a period of time. And again, because we've only got 3 units, we don't need to have the buy box all of the time. We just need to get it at the right time when the buyers are on the page. And this is selling roughly 1 to 2 units a day. We get the buy box for 3 days and we've sold out, or 2 days and we've sold out. So
okay. So I heard something, Josh. I heard something alarming. Do you want to hear what I heard? I heard that Amazon, you should never sell anything of Amazon around the listing. It's a terrible idea. Don't do it. Run a mile if you see Amazon. What's your reaction, your response to that? Having done this now for 13, 14 years, whatever you've been doing it for at this point in time. Is it 11 years now? I think you said it was.
Yeah, since 2013. So yeah, about 11 years. To be honest, it's never been an issue for me. We have so much data available to us. So we could look on this product and see if Amazon's sharing the buy box historically. So let's just show you here. See, I've not checked on this one. So it's going to show, there we go. So over the last 30 days, Amazon has won the buy box 90% of the time. Yeah, so in the tool BuyBot Pro, it has this section buy box statistics, and we can select 30, 90, 180, or 365 days to view this data over. So over the last 30 days, we can see that Amazon has won the buy box 90% of the time. And that's where these recommendation of not selling a product with Amazon on the listing comes from, because traditional Amazon sellers would say, look, Amazon dominating, they're not sharing it, they're hogging the buy box. What we need to look at is the opposite of that here. 10% of the time, it's been shared with third-party sellers, people other than Amazon. And again, because we're only buying small quantities, we're not worried about, as long as we can see Amazon giving a share to other sellers, we're not worried about them having the majority of it. It's their platform. They can have the majority of it. If you're looking at a different model like wholesale or not private labels, it doesn't really apply, but wholesale, or you're buying in larger volumes, then absolutely I could see why that could be problematic. Because if you bought 100 units of this, but Amazon's getting 90% of the sales, then yes, that's an issue. But again, because of the model that we're operating, we only buy in small quantities, it really doesn't matter to us that much. And that's why, you know, we're able to fly under the radar and pick up a lot of products that our competitors would otherwise be saying no to. We get the pick of the bunch, really, and we get some of the best opportunities, like I say, most of our competition are saying no to, because they've been taught or misinformed that you should always avoid products with Amazon on the listing, whereas it's not always the case. It is very much model dependent.
I love that. Okay, I think we cleared that up really well. So let's say, we're going to go back here. Back to Slick Deals, and we're going back looking for more discounts. And I think that's something that I often wonder about, Josh. Some people might be wondering, like, is it like a particular type of product that you're looking for? But I think what you were saying earlier on, just to clear up, is number one, you're looking for big discounts. But I think secondly, something I would bring up just to comment on briefly, you can obviously talk about it a bit more, is as you start to learn more markets, you're going to just start to almost have your what they call the reticular activation system. You're just going to, like, in your back of your mind, you're just going to start to see things. And also algorithmically, this website is going to start showing you more stuff that you're clicking on. So you're being shown a lot of games and stuff like that. And also I know you, so I know that's a big passion of yours, something that you like to sell. So would it be right in saying you're looking at both discount and you're starting to learn markets at the same time?
Absolutely. And one of the things that I would say to anyone just getting started is, of course, it can be overwhelming. There are like maybe 20 core categories on Amazon that sell products extremely well that would absolutely be worth getting stuck into. But when you're a beginner, it kind of makes sense that you start with a category or a couple of different categories that you are you're knowledgeable in. Maybe you have maybe like playing golf or fishing, or it doesn't have to be a sport, it can be, again, video games, or you like gadgets, whatever it might be. Perhaps you're into beauty products, cosmetics, whatever it might be for you. It's a great place to start, because like you were saying, Stephen, the reticular activated system kicks in, and because you're used to buying those products or shopping online for them, you'd be more drawn to the fact that that's a great deal, right? It is an advantage that you can use to start out with. But then the longer you do it, you'll then realize that, okay, I'm kind of limiting myself by just staying in these small number of categories that I know about, and then you branch out from that point. So I have branched out. It used to just be video games for me. Then I added in toys and games, then electronics. But, to talk about different types of products that I wouldn't buy and I would just scroll on by with, be something like this television here. And my reason for that is because it's just too big. It's too big. It's too heavy. It's a higher risk of getting damaged. I don't particularly like products that have a higher risk of getting damaged. So I don't buy things like crockery, glasses, things like that, unless they're extremely well packaged. And of course, there's no real way of us knowing that when we're buying online. We also have to avoid things like digital. This is a digital video game here. It says PC digital, so it's a downloadable game. So again, something that you wouldn't necessarily know unless you're in that world. Steam is a digital games platform, but once you know, right? So if you do start with something that you're familiar with and kind of branch out from that point on.
Just quick there, Josh, I'm just kind of, again, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking of people watching the video, and they might see that Lego City delivery truck there, for example, and they might go, wow, like it's a $50 discount. Is there a reason why you kind of were jumping past that one, or what's going through your mind looking at that?
Just only that it's Costco, which, what was it saying? Warehouse only there. Yeah, in warehouse only.
For me to see that from where I am, but yeah, I can see it now on your end.
Yeah. So the thing is, with a lot of these with Slick Deals is the US. It's what we use. If you're selling in the US, Slick Deals would be the one, or if you're selling in the UK, Hot UK Deals. They're not the same company. It's just the equivalent of the UK equivalent of this website. They're not exclusively limited to deals online. So I spotted that this one was in store only, or in warehouse only. So you can only pick this up locally, which of course, if you are like I am, based remotely, it's not something that you'd be able to take advantage of. So it looks, it ticks the boxes otherwise. Nice big discount, 50% discount off of the regular price. So otherwise would have been one I'd have looked at for sure. I also saw this one, but it's saying tempered glass, which I know is very tough, but it is a PC case. So it's probably quite big. It's quite heavy. Whilst there is $69 difference, I'm thinking it's probably a little bit on the big side. A little bit on the large side.
Yeah, and again, just being realistic, like if you were going to ship that, maybe it's free shipping to a location, but if you're sending it to a prep center, for example, that could be a company who are like prepping all this stuff for you. Something of that size, it may have to be shipped on its own as well. So you're getting into bigger shipping costs back into Amazon and things like that. And so like that all takes away from potential profitability, right? So I would say then, would you say in general then, Josh, one of your rules is you ideally like to find things that are on the smaller side, and like you could package many different things into a big box?
Yeah, so I have a box that I use. So I'll prep some of these products myself, order them, get them delivered here. So I've got a box. I'll take that box and I'll take smaller items. So this is just a little pack of football trading cards. It is a particularly small box. Got another toy here. So this type thing, I'd get a bunch of those different types of products and pack them into one single box. So you can go up to about 22 kilos, which is somewhere in the region of about 60 pounds, I think. You can pack all of that into one single box. So that it could be a mixture. It doesn't have to be the same stuff. It could be 3 packs of these football cards, 5 of those toys, mascara, beauty products. There are some specific products that have to go to a dedicated fulfillment center that Amazon specializes in, but for the most part, it can be mixed. So yeah, we don't like big stuff because there is a cost to get that box from us or from the third-party prep center into Amazon's fulfillment center. And if we've got 50 products in that box, then we can divide that. It's called an inbound shipping fee. We can divide the inbound shipping fee across 50 items. Whereas if we've got 2 really big items in one box, that same cost only gets split across 2 items. It's an economics thing, I suppose, really there. This would be one that I'd click through. The reason I haven't is because I'm based in the UK and I'm looking at US-based websites. There are some websites that you need to have what's known as a VPN. You might be familiar with a VPN, which basically masks your location, the location you're browsing the internet from. Because there are some websites, and I think it's all thanks to the GDPR laws, the privacy laws, they've stopped Europeans from accessing certain US-based websites. So I don't have my VPN turned on because when I'm streaming, it doesn't like it. This would probably be something I'd look at. $100 down to $40. The Milwaukee brand is popular. And Home Depot do have, lots of great opportunities on a regular basis.
So Josh, just to be clear, that at Home Depot we have to basically use a VPN to go onto that particular website because they just
Yeah.
stop you.
Yeah.
I've seen it with Walmart and stuff as well. I've seen things like that too.
Yeah, if I were to go through here right now, it's going to say, access denied. It tells me that I can't because of my location. But and that's again something that you kind of get to know. And we do recommend that people who are based outside of the US have a VPN available. And again, there's no cost. You can get it for free. I have a free Chrome extension called Free VPN, and I just turn that on when I'm going on sites like that. I typically have it turned off because sometimes it can cause problems for sites that don't need it. So if I go to a website like Home Depot, I know I've got to turn my VPN on and I can do what I need to do, and then turn it off when I come off of the website.
All right, Josh. So look, we found a few bits here. We've shown the methodology. But what I'd like to do now is show, all right, let's say we found the keyboard. Let's say we bought the 3 units that we would buy off of Woot. We won't go through that process, but just some people might wonder, how do I get that into my Amazon seller account, assuming I have an Amazon seller account, of course, and we can certainly show you where we get that. But let's just assume for now we have an Amazon seller account, professional account. What are the steps we got to take to actually put this into our account?
Great. So what we do here is we grab the ACE from the listing. So I showed you on Woot earlier how that you can find that in the address bar, but I'll show you another place you can grab it because it's not always the easiest, and some people's address bars aren't visible. So if you scroll down the page, Buybot Pro is going to push it down. We can get to a section where it will show us all of the product details, and the ASIN will be there. There we go. Right. So ASIN, there it is. We can grab that. And I'd always recommend if you've done the research and you've married it up to a product and you're confident it's the same one, always grab the ASIN for the one that you research, because sometimes is that I will receive the product, I'll scan the barcode, because again, like I was saying earlier on, that's a means of being able to look products up on Amazon based on their UPC number or EAN number in Europe, but it doesn't always match to the exact same listing. Sometimes there are multiple listings for the same product. So just in the interest of keeping everything exactly the same based on your research, utilize the ASIN. We actually have a sheet that hooks up, a Google sheet that hooks up to Buybot Pro. So let's say, for example, we did buy this and then we were going to go ahead and list it into our account. If we just scroll down, so it says Google Sheet, export data. So we got our team names rigged up here, and there's my name. So I could just click my name and that exports that data to a purchase sheet. So we log all of the data and everything, we capture it exactly as it was, so that when we come to now do this listing side of things, we have everything at our fingertips and we know how much we were going to sell it for, how much we bought it for, and all that kind of stuff. In order to sell it, you need to go into Seller Central, and then if you go to add products, it takes you to this page here. So they've updated it recently. We've got a few more options, but keeping it super simple, all you need to do is to search for the ASIN in this search box. So I'm going to paste that in and hit submit. So there it is. So that's the exact same product we're just looking at, showing you that right now, obviously bear in mind this is I'm doing this on the UK, so you'll see some pound signs rather than dollar signs, but there are 7 people currently selling it. And what I need to do is just select the condition for how I'm going to be selling this. Is it new? Is it used? Collectible? Well, we're buying this brand new sale product, so we're going to select new. And then we just go ahead and click sell this product. You see it's opened up a new tab there, and there's only a few things that we actually need to do on here, because like I was saying earlier on, the product listing has already been created. The photos have been taken, the description's been written, so we don't need to do any of that stuff. Literally, all we need to do at this point is tell Amazon how much we'd like to charge and what the condition is. For some reason, that doesn't carry across. A few extra bits here that is saying that we need quantity that we don't need, because if we just scroll down rather than come back and do this after this section here where it says fulfillment channel. So I mentioned earlier on that we use Amazon FBA to store, pick, pack, and ship our items. So at this point, if we just select Amazon will dispatch and provide customer service, it's going to do away with a lot of those options. So quantity that was previously there now goes, because what we're doing here is we're creating the offer for this product. We're listing it inside of our account. We then go to a second step where we create shipment and tell Amazon how many we're going to be sending into them. But of course, we only do that when we have other items that we're going to be sending. We don't just send 3 units of one product in one box, unless, like we were saying earlier, it's a product and it takes up an entire box. The 3 things we're actually going to use here, because there will be something else that we're going to put in, is we've got contribution SKU. So this is what we might use internally to help identify the products that we bought. So I use a custom SKU structure that helps me to identify where I bought the product from, how much I paid for it when I'm listing products. So we bought this from Woot, so I would type Woot. I put PP, which for me stands for purchase price. So I'd put in there $49.99. And then one of the things that I like to put in is the date that we purchased it. So I might put here September 24. And then if in case we need anything else, because these SKUs need to be unique, I might have 01 on the end just to differentiate it. So we don't want any spaces. We can use capital letters, lowercase, numbers, hyphens, full stops. But that, again, when we use when you look at profit and loss later on, because you likely have a tool that would tell you how much profit you're making based on it, that kind of stuff, you need to enter cost prices. So for me, that's really quick and easy to go back and see, oh, look, I paid $49.99 for that and I bought them from Woot. So if I wanted to reorder them, again, I've got all that data at my fingertips. So that's the first thing we do. And then we enter the sell price. So $99.99 was the sell price that we were looking at. And then we have offer condition type. So we have a variety of different condition types we can select here. But again, we're only interested in new. So we select new. And then everything else we should not need to fill in. There's a lot of stuff here that makes it look much more complicated than it needs to be. But tax code, we don't need to put any of this stuff in. Maximum order quantity, again, we're not worried about that. Any of these things, so we can just skip past all of that. Most of this will already be in there, and Amazon just taking an opportunity to get information updated. So we can scroll on by. And in fact, you wouldn't normally see all of this. It's actually only for this particular product. And then because there are connected marketplaces that I could look to offer this in I toggle those off. I can set prices there. But otherwise, all I do now is just hit save and finish. Then that adds this particular product to my account with the point that I'd selected. And then I would just go to create a shipment and tell Amazon how many I'm going to be sending to them and what other things I'm going to be putting in that same box. So it's as simple as that. That's literally it.